It's been over cloudy all this week. Of course, it's over cloudy when I decide to record this video. Lighting's still good, so we're good. Happy New Year, readers! We made it! 2022 was an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy of a year, I'll tell you what. Because on one hand, 2022 has been the most successful Readus 101 the channel has ever been. I made 2 videos that were sponsored by Amazon Prime that have collectively paid the most I have ever made in one sitting. Y'all showed up and showed out for so many of my videos back in 2022. My WandaVision one, my Goofy movie one, my Addams Family Values one, my heteronormativity video essay, the ones I made on Sing and Zootopia, my Goofy movie one again. So many of you have watched, shared, and discussed the topics that I covered in 2022, that thanks to it, we're now at over 65,000 subscribers, on our way to 70,000. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for making that possible. And on the other hand, the hiccups I've experienced in 2022 were just as frustrating as the successes were euphoric. As a lot of you know, my previous landlord offered me a lease renewal that was $150 more than my rent was at the time, took back the offer before the agreed upon expiration date without letting me know, and forced me to find a new place to live in the span of like 2 months. And while I'm definitely glad to be back in my hometown of Detroit, Michigan proper, instead of a suburb that's adjacent to a city that used to be a sundown town, I wish I could have done so on my terms, if you know what I mean. Because not only did I have to exhaust whatever savings I had to promptly move in order to do it before legal action was taken against me, but a Russian doll of problems kept unfurling that I had to race against the clock to fix before shit went bad after I settled. After finally acquiring health insurance through the state of Michigan, I found out in April that the reason why I've been having mood shifts and trouble focusing isn't because I'm clinically depressed or have ADHD. It's because my testosterone count is 50 points lower than where it actually should be. Fun! But before I can get my gender-affirming treatment, because that's what that is, my doctor wanted to get my blood pressure back in the green, which, thanks to years of not having access to healthcare to monitor and control this situation over 2+ years, was at a hypertension level 2 heights. That's right. I could have had a heart attack and died. All because I went years without healthcare due to it being ridiculously expensive if I didn't have a full-time job that just so happened to offer benefits. No, it's fine. The system works. What are you talking about? But I'm glad to report that while I still do have high blood pressure, I am out of the hypertension range, and both confirmation and treatment for my low T count will begin this month. So that's some good news. And let me tell you, it's gonna feel so good being able to get back to a regular state of focus and productivity, especially now that I've learned that it's okay to allow myself to take breaks and focus on me to avoid burnout. That was my main takeaway I learned with a lot of the changes that I made for the channel in 2022, and I definitely want to carry that over in 2023, which I believe is a great segue into the announcements I want to make regarding the future of this channel going into 2023. 2022 has taught me that when it comes to Readus 101, it does its best when I focus on long-form videos discussing blackness, queerness, and social justice by finding those points of discussion in film and television via analysis and research. And, just as importantly, I personally do my best in producing those types of videos for the channel when I'm not forcing myself to find it, or producing something else to release in the meantime just to adhere to a schedule that may or may not benefit the algorithm's favor. Spoiler alert, it doesn't benefit at all from what I've experienced. However, I pride myself in being both an analyst of film and a critic of film. And despite the fact that my long-term segments like Film Friday and A Proper Movie Trilogy don't do the numbers my analysis videos and video essays do, I still enjoy doing them. The only reason why I push the pause button on making them is because with the low view counts they produce, the algorithm tends to promote my videos to YouTube less and less. So that's why, for 2023, I'm making the executive decision to have Readus 101 strictly be the home for film analysis, opinion pieces, and video essays going forward. And while the releases will stick to Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for regular videos, and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the release of video essays and streams, there won't be releases every Wednesday. 2022 has taught me that quality takes way more precedent than quantity. Now, does that mean I'm no longer making the likes of Film Friday, A Proper Movie Trilogy, or my genuine opinions about movies, TV, and video games on YouTube outside of the previously stated analysis sphere? Absolutely not. Because while I'm making Readus 101 the official home for film and TV analysis through Black, queer, and social justice lenses, so too will my critique work have a home on YouTube as well. I'm happy to announce my new channel, Readus 201. Readus 201 will be the new home for all of my videos critiquing, reviewing, anticipating, and reflecting on movies and television that I just have strong opinions about and want to share with all of you. It will be the new home for A Proper Movie Trilogy, with the original playlist available there if you want to watch any of the 13 original videos, and the first video of Season 2 currently slated to premiere this January. My old Streaming What's New segment, where I talk about the movies and television shows coming out exclusively on streaming networks that month at the beginning of every month that I want to see, will be released on that channel, as well as a YouTube short on the first Friday of every month, before the longer extended version will be hitting TikTok the next day. And any videos I make where I share my tier lists of anticipated movies and TV shows, movie pitches and ideas for rewrites, or anything similar to that will also be on Readus 201. As a matter of fact, you can find a video on the channel where I share the movies coming out in 2023 that I'm excited for right now, published and ready for you to watch. I'm also going to be removing my wine drunk review of the first Venom movie from Readus 101 and uploading it to Readus 201 this month, in order to have it be the official start of the new Film Friday inspired segment for the channel, which will be followed by the promised wine drunk review of Venom Let There Be Carnage near the end of January. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is the second time you've gone on record that you're gonna make the wine drunk review of Carnage. I think you're stalling at this point, Laron. My response to that is, mind your business. Now, the other reason I'm re-uploading the Venom review to Readus 201 is because, as you know, in order for the channel to become monetized, it needs at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of public watch time in the span of 12 months. And I personally believe that with the first of the new Proper Movie Trilogy videos, the 2 Venom movie reviews, and the video of me sharing my most anticipated movies of 2023 coming out on the channel this month, we can knock those 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 hours of public watch time requirements out of the park by the end of January. But none of that will matter if you don't know that I'm posting stuff. So I do want to share with you some updates and announcements regarding that going into 2023 as well. Right now, one of the best ways to make sure that you're notified whenever I post anything in video or word format is through my Patreon. For those of you who don't know, you can still follow a creator on Patreon if you can't afford to support them financially through the platform. When you do follow them, you get notified both through the Patreon app on your phone and through email whenever they make a post available to the general public, aka everyone that is both supporting you and following you. All the Patreon posts from my videos, even the ones where tier supporters get early access to them, go public for everyone to access a few minutes to an hour after it's put out on YouTube, depending on whether it was a regularly released or had a live premiere. And since I'll be posting the releases of my Readus 201 videos to my Patreon as well, they will be given the same treatment. If pressing the notification bell doesn't do the trick and you want to be made aware of everything I publish when it's published. Speaking of Patreon, I'll be making a few changes there for the tier supporters as well. Firstly, for my own mental health. The Readus 101 homepage will be switching from showing how much money is being contributed to how many patrons there are, and any goals and achievements that are currently up or that will be made in the future will properly reflect as such. Secondly, I've been told plenty of times by a lot of you who've been supporting me on Patreon that you'd happily contribute more if there were higher tier slots, even if there weren't any rewards for doing so. So with that, I have two things to say to that. First of all, I'm happy that you've secured a career in IT. And second of all, because of this, I'm reinstating the $50 and $100 tiers for those who do want to do so, and also do a bit of maintenance regarding the tier rewards reflecting everything that I both promised and experimented with recently in 2022. Because in case you haven't noticed, I've been getting back into producing written editorials and reviews, and offering all my patrons from $1 or more early access to them before they go live on my website, Readus101.com. Well, recently I made the decision to, once again, shut down the website because it was proving to be a bit expensive. I'm still holding on to the domain Readus101.com because I learned my lesson from the last time I let go of that shit. But, as of right now, the website's a no more. But because I still want to release written editorials and reviews while also allowing another way for peeps to be notified of all of my video releases across now 2 channels, I decided to make a newsletter with Substack. The Readus 101 Substack will be the new hub for everything I do writing and video-wise, as I originally intended for Readus101.com to be. It'll be absolutely free to subscribe to, and you'll get notifications for all of my videos for Readus 101, Readus 201, and any written editorials, opinion pieces, or reviews I decide to publish there from here on out. The reason why it's free is because Patreon will continue to be the main way for those who want to financially support the channels can, outside of coffee and PayPal donations, and those who contribute to it will get early access to everything I produce, both written and video, before they're published on Substack, depending on the tier that they sign up for. That means early access to my videos starts at $5 a month or more, and early access to all of my written work will start at $1 a month or more. So yeah, I think that's about everything. A new focus for Readus 101, a brand new channel in the form of Readus 201, proper cleanup and notification use for Patreon, and a secondary way of being notified of everything I do in the form of a free Substack newsletter. And if we can get Readus 201 fully monetized by the end of January and get it growing as much as the main channel, I'll definitely count that as a win. Thank you all so much for helping me make 2022 as tolerable as it was. It truly was through your help, your support, and your faith in me that I'm even able to make any of these changes and announcements. And I'm so glad that you're sticking it out with me in 2023. As per usual, the links to Readus 201 and the Substack email will be available in the description box below. Click here to watch the video where I gush about 8 movies I'm excited to see in 2023, and make sure you subscribe while you're over there so that we can get the channel monetized as soon as possible. Also, make sure you click the link to the Patreon in order to follow it to keep yourself notified of every video I release, or sign up for any of the tier lists to help financially support the channel and get early access to everything I do before it's public on YouTube or my Substack newsletter. I personally can't wait to show you what I got up my sleeve for all of this year, and I hope you're excited too. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.